On Wonder Wins presents ESPNcricinfo Fantasy Pick. We're looking ahead to the game between Mumbai Indians and Rajasthan Royals. Contrasting feelings for both sides after their opening encounter. Mumbai falling short against Delhi Capitals. Rajasthan with a thumping win against Sunrisers. I've got Lynn with me, and I'm going to go to my top picks in just a second. But this is 2 afternoon games for the Mumbai Indians, Lynn. And you think if they've lost the first, that should be their hoodoo out of the way, and they should be looking good. Rajasthan certainly looking good. What can we expect from this one?
Look, Mumbai have always, I suppose, had that little ghost that they never win the first game. So I expect them to bounce back in a big way. You know, they've got the experience in the lineup. Potentially Sky to come back in the lineup, and that'll free up Rohit. You know, they're just a class act, and what they do well is prepare really well. So they had that little hiccup in the first game, but it is what it is. So I'm expecting them to bounce back in a big way.
All right, fair enough. Now, you think then that our fantasy team would be filled with some Mumbai Indians representation. Let's look at it. Before that, a reminder on Wonder Wins, 100 credits for every user to build their fantasy team. 4 categories of players to choose from: batters, bowlers, wicket keepers, and all-rounders. Every player's individual credit value is listed on the app. You can pick a maximum of 7 players from any team in any given contest. Let's go to our choices for captain and vice-captain. And we've gone for 2 Mumbai Indians players. In spite of how Rajasthan played last game, we're backing Kishan as captain, fresh of that 48-ball 81 against the Capitals, and that first big score after the big price that he went for the auction would certainly set Kishan up nicely for the rest of the season. He can also get you extra points as wicketkeeper, remember. Vice-captain, Bumrah. It's not often that your number 7 is going to come and whack Bumrah all over the park. Shardul Thakur did that in the last game, but we're not expecting him to have an off day back-to-back. So we're going for Bumrah to be a good vice-captain candidate at a ground where we have seen high-scoring games as well as a low-scoring thriller. So Bumrah is our vice-captain and Kishan our captain. They give you 1.5 and double the points respectively, so pick them very carefully. Among our top picks, Sanju Samson features. He loves to start the IPL on a high, does the Rajasthan Royals captain. Had an excellent half-century in the game against Sunrisers, and that should set him up for a couple of decent scores on these good batting tracks. Yuzvendra Chahal is there as well, someone who, of course, is trying to find life in a jersey other than that of RCB, and he started really well. 3 for 22 against Sunrisers, and you think Chahal could have a bit of an X factor with the way how wrist spinners have done, especially in an afternoon game. We look at our top picks once more. Kishan is captain, Bumrah is vice captain, Samson and Yuzvendra Chahal among our top picks. Make sense, Lenny, or would you be tempted to go for a Rajasthan Royals candidate as perhaps captain or vice captain to try and cash in on those points?
Look, they're pretty strong picks in my opinion, but if there's going to be one bloke, maybe Trent Boult. He started with the tournament well the other night in a pink jersey. You know, he strives in whatever jersey he wears. So for me, if anything, Trent Boult. But as you said, Bumrah never has a bad game back-to-back bad games, and not that he had a terrible game the other day. It's just the high standards that we set of him and what he's known for around the world. But Kishan, he's up there. He's so dynamite in that role that he plays, and I'm actually expecting someone to score 100 tonight in the match, and he's every part of being that player.
All right, fair enough. So lots of you're banking on someone like Kishan, so don't go against him. Let's see if Trent Boult finds room in our team. Before that, our differential picks. We've gone for Prasidh Krishna and Murugan Ashwin. Now, Murugan Ashwin had an excellent game against Delhi Capitals. The 31-year-old who's moved from Punjab to Mumbai as a result of the last auction started well, 2 for 14 against the Capitals, and he could be particularly potent in these grounds if he gets his googlies right. Prasidh Krishna is there as well, the tall right-arm pacer from Karnataka. Just 8.5 credits on Wonder Wins, and his current form tells you he's an absolute must in your team. Since the start of 2022, he's taken a staggering 29 wickets in 7 games at an average of under 11 across formats. Let's look at our full team. Kishan and Samson both feature as keeping options. Rohit Sharma, Shimron Hetmyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, who makes a comeback from injury, and Devdutt Padikkal. So lots of batting. You got Daniel Sams, who had an off game with the ball against Delhi. He features. And Chahal, Bumrah, Prasidh Krishna, Murugan Ashwin as bowlers. Now, there's no room for a Trent Boult. Would you certainly recommend to our fantasy users that Trent Boult is someone they should be picking more often, Linny?
Absolutely. I mean, he was a man of the final 2 years ago now, and he's a player, as I said, that strives in whatever colour jersey he wears. But for me, it's more so the conditions that are being dished up at the moment. The ball's swinging up front, and he's so, his execution is second to none. He's always asking questions. The batters have to make decisions, whether to play, the ball swinging in or not. And, he's prepared for that because he's got that, three-quarter seam that does go away from the right-hander. We've seen the ball, we've seen plenty of nicks throughout the tournament so far, and his skill is just, of a world-class level. So I think he definitely deserves a go, but I know you guys are going to prove me wrong once again because my predictions over the last couple of matches have been very, very poor.
No, I think that's good. You can blame the teams for not living up to your standard of predictions, Chris Lynn. I think you've been just fine. Now, Trent Bolt's a good pick. You know what? With what we've seen of Umesh Yadav at the D.Y. Patil Stadium, there is a bit of swing, and Trent Bolt can exploit that and make use of that more than or better than anyone else. So let's see if he goes good against his former side. So consider Bolt in your calculations. And of course, if you're not happy with how your team is going on Wonder Wins, you get the option of also changing things around at halftime to see if you can still salvage the situation in the second innings. We'll be back with plenty more expert opinions, stats, data analysis to help you pick your fantasy teams right through IPL 2022 on Wonder Wins presents ESPN Cricinfo Fantasy Pick.